Good morning everyone. I am going to talk about occurrence and associated antimicrobial resistance of E. coli and Salmonella in commercial and backyard chicken in Millenia and Bandaragama veterinary divisions. Poultry industry is the most popular industry among livestock sector in Sri Lanka. There are two main sectors. One is backyard poultry industry. It consists of native breeds and their crosses, and also it is categorized under extensive management system. The other one is commercial poultry industry. It comprises commercial layer and broiler breeds, and also it is under intensive and semi-intensive management practices. Nowadays, antimicrobial usage has become a major public health concern, especially antimicrobial usage in poultry sector in therapeutic and non-therapeutic means. This can lead to development of antimicrobial resistance in bacterial organisms. When we talk about antimicrobial resistance or AMR, we can define it as ability of microorganisms to resist the activity of particular antimicrobial agents to which was previously susceptible. Other than that, poultry products are the highly consumed protein source in Sri Lanka, and also they can harbor foodborne pathogens such as E. coli, Salmonella, Campylobacter, and etc. Of these pathogens, Salmonella and E. coli are listed in the top of the list, which was causing foodborne illnesses. Both E. coli and Salmonella are sharing some of the common features such as colonization in gut flora, which can easily contaminated with food products, and they readily acquire AMR via horizontal and vertical gene transmission. And also they both carry multi-drug resistance determinants. This emergence of AMR among foodborne pathogens become a major crisis in the world. These are the objectives of my study. The first one is isolation and identification of E. coli and Salmonella species in cloacal samples obtained from backyard layers and commercial layers in Millenia and Bandaragama veterinary divisions. The second one is detection and comparison of antimicrobial resistant patterns of E. coli and Salmonella species isolated from both backyard and commercial poultry. This is how I proceeded my study. Initially, I have collected data on feeding practices and other management practices of backyard and commercial poultry management systems. Same time, I collected cloacal samples from 25 backyard poultry farms and all 4 registered commercial layer farms in Bandaragama and Millenia veterinary ranges. Pooled samples were used to isolate and identify E. coli and Salmonella species. All the confirmed samples were used to determine the antimicrobial susceptibility profiles using disk diffusion method according to CLSI guidelines. Then we'll move on to the results and discussion part. You can see here some of the pictures I have taken during my study. First picture shows backyard poultry farm. In backyard rearing system, they rear chicken mainly for eggs. Average flock size is 5 to 30. Usually shelter is providing only for night time and they are free range during daytime. Main feed resources are household refuses. In second picture you can see commercial layer farm which is practicing deep litter system and the average flock size is around 2000. According to questionnaire analysis, there are 2 main feeding patterns in backyard system. Main feeding pattern is scavenging and some of the farms practice scavenging and commercial feed together. When we compared it with commercial layer farms, all the farms are depending on commercial feed. When we consider about the antimicrobial usage in backyard system, majority comprises farms that had no history of antimicrobial usage. The percentage is 76%. This pie chart shows 100% antimicrobial usage in commercial layer system. E. coli species were isolated from each and every farm. The prevalence is 100%. And here you can see antimicrobial susceptibility patterns observed in E. coli isolated from backyard layers. Majority of the isolates are sensitive to the most of the antimicrobials tested, and also around 20% resistant isolates can be seen against ampicillin, tetracycline and sulfur trimethoprim. This is the antimicrobial susceptibility patterns of E. coli isolated from commercial layers. You can see the same susceptibility pattern as in the previous chart, but the higher resistance can be observed against ampicillin, ciprofloxacin, nalidixic acid, tetracycline and sulfur trimethoprim. Intermediate susceptibility can be seen against streptomycin. To determine the difference between two resistant profiles, two-proportion statistical analysis was performed. According to that, significant resistance was only observed against tetracycline and sulfur trimethoprim. In addition, 23 isolates, 10 from backyard and 13 from commercial isolates showed multi-drug resistant profiles. Currently, this multi-drug resistant is also has become a major threat to the public health, and it is defined as isolates that are resistant against 2 or more than 2 antimicrobials that are belongs to different classes and structurally unrelated. In my study, all the tested samples were free of salmonella. It may be due to the presence of salmonella resistance among the backyard population and also due to the less number of samples used. As the literature says, there are low prevalence in the salmonella in the poultry. It is about 10 to 12%. And the levels of AMR detected in backyard layers is lower compared to the commercial layers. Possible causes could be less usage of antimicrobials and minimal consumption of commercial feeds. These are the conclusions. The higher levels of resistance was observed in isolate from commercial layer birds. Even though we expect low resistance among backyard farming, irrespective of the management practices, a considerable level of resistance was observed against ampicillin, streptomycin, sulfur trimethoprim, tetracycline, nalidixic acid and ciprofloxacin. According to my knowledge, I think broader studies are required under One Health concept to improve the understanding of the mechanisms that leads to development of resistance and also its transmissibility, and to detect the presence of antimicrobials in feed as growth promoters. These are my references, and I would like to thank Dr. Ruwani Kalupahana, Dr. Sanda Kottawatta, Dr. Madhura Munasinghe, the Dean of the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine and Animal Sciences, Dr. Dulari, Dr. Hansani, Dr. Kumari, Dr. Harsha, and all the non-academic staff members and my colleagues. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you.